Okay, everybody, we're back for the back side of the board. We're going to try to speed this one up a little bit. I apologize, the last one got pretty long, so I'm going to make a new sheet. It's going to be the back. I'm going to call it back. Didn't label the other sheets. It's all right. We're going to edit it. I want it to be in the middle for the start point. Material surface, 12 by everything else looks good. 2D mode, design. So I want to make a couple handles, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I'll show you. We're gonna do a carving on the back of this board. It kind of is a nice touch. And a lot of people they'll have me do initials or whatever, dates or whatever it might be. Just do a really light carve on the back, and they clean okay, and it's usually not a problem. People don't usually use the back anyway. But we want to make a couple handles, and I've got some files I usually just copy and paste and center, and off we go. But this one will start from scratch. So we're going to take a couple squares. We want to radius the external. Let's say, and I don't know how big you guys want yours. I usually go bigger than I have a little sander that's a square sander that the back of it, I make sure that those handles are big enough that sander can slide in there. So here's the box. I just put a box with a radius, and we're going to make it just a little bit bigger, and we'll slide it in there like that. And that looks pretty good. We're going to do a copy paste. We're just going to slide this other one over here. I'm actually going to put right on the center line there. Right there. And don't worry about getting all this stuff perfect. Actually, maybe move those both in a couple clicks. Oops. So when we got them fairly close to each other, what have you, and it doesn't really matter that one side's off. I mean, it does, but we're going to fix it quick. So if you just take both of these and you do a quick center in both, it's going to center. If you center all ways, it just centered them up and down, and it centered them this way, as long as you have the dimensions of your piece set correctly, which is really important. So there, I think I'm happy with those. We're going to use a pocket tool path for those. I use a 3/4, it's already selected here. It's a 3/4 inch bowl and tray bit. And I'm going to go to 0.23, so start depth is 0, 0.23 inches. The default settings for this are just fine. This is a CIC workshop bit. Works wonderfully. I just leave the settings alone. We're going to do a raster. And so a normal raster would cut this way. And what happens is it just tears your board out. So I always change that to a 90-degree raster right here. Make sure you change that to 90 if that's the way your grain is on your wood. Right here. And then I do a last profile cut for the last, so it comes down and it goes dink, 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 and then does a nice cleanup and leaves a really nice pocket for you. I ramp it a little bit, not too long, because the ramp on this great big bit, the ramp gets really slow and just burns the crap out of the wood. So I use a really quick ramp, and we'll call that handles. We're going to calculate that quick. And once again, I have keep out zones. We're going to clear those again. And if somebody knows how to make this so it doesn't go to every sheet, please let me know. But those to me, the keep out zones should be per sheet, but it doesn't seem to work like that. And maybe there's a setting somewhere that I can change. But anyway, so there's our handles. And those actually look pretty good. Some nice handles, nice big handles. And so we're going to add last thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little graphic. So I'm going to grab the lion again, right click copy, back to the back, right click paste, hit center all. And that's pretty cool. So we'll do a V-bit toolpath on here. I'm going to go ahead and select a 60-degree V bit. and this is an SPE tool that I have. Default settings are fine. I like to slow it down a little bit to 65. It seems to cut a little better. Either that or just run it another pass. And we're gonna be gentle with this, and you guys all need to just play with what works best for you. I like to start at about 0.02 and go down to about 0.06. That seems to make a nice little indent and everything. And no, we don't need any cleanup tools for this. Clearance, we're going to call this back carve. And if you guys notice, what happened here is, and if that's what you want, that's great. I mean, it's a lot of exposed surface area on the back of the board. I would probably use a bigger bit if you want this, so you don't have all these tool marks in it, or you're going to have to sand it. But I honestly just want a really light engraving back here. So here we're going to trick Vectric again, and we're going to do a offset on this line again, like we did on the male side of the inlay, but we're going to do a really small offset. So let's do like a point. We'll start with 0.1 and see what that does for us. And we're going to tell it to go ahead and make sharp corners, because we want it to just stick. We want it to make it as close of one as it can. So let's offset it. And it made a lot of these little bitty things. Not sure I like that. Let's Alt Control Z, and let's do 0.05. Offset it. And that's pretty tight. So all we're doing here is we're going to make, normally a V-carve will come and ride inside of all these lines. And so that's kind of what we're doing. We're just making an outline of this vector. So let's just see, for the fun of it, what this looks like without going in there and checking it and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Let's just cut it once and see what we got. Select it all again here. And reset our view. And this, you can see now we're just going to get the outline of this line, which I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it's going to be a really nice light engraving on the back of the board, and it makes the piece stand out for the customer too. You flip it over, or somebody. It's just pretty cool. But I'm going to call that good, and we're going to export our tool pass. And we're going to put those, I usually put those in the root directory. Anything like if we have to when we resurface it and things like that, I just lay those in the root directory. And that way you can find them. And save that. And let's go to the shop and cut this board. Thanks, everybody.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream I was water just flowing through space, till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What the grass smell green and the air feels sane. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that would run from me. Now I sit still, let the peace come free. Paint a verse in the sky with a loose leaf. While the moon do a dance with a soft oak tree. Let it ride, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on 3. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. I've been good, I've been gone, I've been lost in the loops. Got a hoodie and some headphones, walking with truths. Ain't no answers in the feed, just noise and flex. But I found God once in a vinyl set. Talk slow when I speak, let the moment stretch. Learn peace ain't found, it's a thing you protect. Yeah, I vibe like water, I change and shift. But the roots still deep like my grandma's grits. City move fast, but I drift like smoke. Let the rhythm in my chest be the way I cope. Wrote a song for the days that feel soft and broke. Where the healing don't shout, but it still got hope. Let it ride, let it be, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on 3. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. Let it ride, let it be what it got a breeze in my chest and a thought runs free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on three. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back.